I bet you don't remember who the first NBA player is to lace up Nike basketball shoes. The year was 1964 when Nike was founded by Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman. Nike wasn't Nike at the time. Back then it was called Blue Ribbon Sports and it focused on importing and selling Onitsuka Tiger sneakers. The partnership with the Japanese brand mainly had Phil and Bill reselling Onitsuka Tiger Corsairs in the US. Then in 1971 the duo parted ways with Onitsuka and established Nike. This was a time when Nike was still at the cusp of establishing itself outside of running and into basketball, and so the brand developed prototypes and needed someone to wear the shoe in the NBA. If you think that guy would be George the Iceman Gervin, it's a good guess, but he's not the one. The man Nike would sign would be one of the first to wear the high-top Nike blazer. That man is Geoff Petrie, and chances are you probably haven't heard of him. So let's have a quick conversation. After an impressive college career in Princeton, Jeff Petrie was drafted in 1970 by the Portland Trailblazers, then an expansion team. For his first NBA season, Jeff had an impressive year, earning him the Rookie of the Year award together with co-winner Dave Cowens of the Boston Celtics. Jeff played 82 games where he averaged 24.8 points on 37 minutes of action. He was also named NBA All-Star twice and held the team's scoring record of 51 points in 1973, which was broken only in 2005. The 6'2" guard, however, would only have 6 NBA seasons in his professional career. In 1976, Jeff was traded to the Atlanta Hawks, but he would not play a single game thereafter. That's because he tore up his left knee during an off-season summer workout in 1971, and by the time he was traded, his left knee has already undergone multiple surgeries and he was never the same. He called it quits. But before he finally called it a career, there's one pivotal moment that would change Nike forever. Jeff is the first NBA player to switch from Converse to Nike. In fact, he is considered to be the first Nike athlete in the NBA. Nike signed him in 1971 and he would wear the basketball shoe that started it all for Nike on the hardwood, the Nike Blazer, or at least its prototype. Nike's entry into basketball was not without competition. Converse was already the brand to beat back in the 1970s. It had established itself in the NBA through the Chuck Taylor All-Star basketball shoe, and many NBA players were wearing them back then. Before signing Jeff, Nike was known more in the running world with its popular waffle sole, and in fact it was only in 1971 during Jeff's rookie year when Blue Ribbon Sports changed its name to Nike. When Jeff wore Nike shoes, the sneakers were not technically the Nike Blazer as it came to be popularly known. Rather, according to Nike, what he and the rest of the Portland Trailblazers wore was the 1972 Nike Bruin prototype. It was in the later part of 1972 when the Nike Blazer made its NBA debut. Then in 1973, Nike released the high-top Blazer, naming it in honor of Jeff Petrie and his team. A Nike catalog at the time describes the shoe as rugged and well built for the maximum in support and comfort, making it the choice of champions coast to coast. The shoe had a calf leather upper that was vulcanized onto the sole, which in turn had herringbone traction pattern. The tongue used soft nylon with visible sponge, while the collar had padding along with the moisture-absorbing terry cloth. Shortly after, the Nike Blazer started to use suede leather. People will probably associate and remember the Nike Blazer with another name, George the Iceman Gervin. He was drafted by the Phoenix Suns during the 1974 NBA draft, but he would continue playing for the San Antonio Spurs, which was still part of the American Basketball Association, or ABA, at that time. When the ABA and the NBA merged in 1976, the Iceman effectively became an NBA player. But he was not always a Nike athlete. In fact, when George became a professional basketball player, he was with Adidas. The turning point came when he became part of the NBA. Nike would formally offer him about $150,000 to join the brand through an endorsement agreement in March 23, 1977. George accepted. So when Jeff Petrie's NBA career was just about to end, George Gervin's NBA career was about to take off. The transition also carried with it the unofficial handover of who was to be the face of the Nike Blazer. At that point, Nike was more than willing to go all in on the Iceman, but history is clear. Jeff Petrie was the first. Jeff Petrie had a short NBA career, but history will forever have him as the first Nike basketball athlete and one of the first to ever lace up the Nike Blazer. Today, at 77 years of age, not much has been heard from him other than when he served as the president of basketball operations of the Sacramento Kings until 2013. But whatever the case, Jeff Petrie was a trailblazer in more ways than one. You could say that he was in the right place and at the right time, and that the honor would have been given to George Gervin had he joined the NBA a few years earlier. But let me know what you think.